Hey there, Aries, and welcome to my channel, Alchemist 8. Justin here, and I hope you're having an awesome week so far. So for those of you who are returning, welcome back. Appreciate you subscribing, liking, sharing, all those YouTubey things. And for those of you who are new, I promise I'm gonna get it together. You are in for a interesting adventure, needless to say, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. And what I'm going to be doing this week is a tarot card reading for the week of October 16th through the 22nd. And just a reminder, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with that being said, let's get started. Your space has been cleansed. The gems have been cleansed. Man, vibes are good. I'm going to be pulling 15 cards. They're going to be in 5 groups of 3. The middle group is going to be the nature of your problem. The upper left and upper right hand corner are going to be some possible future outcomes you might be considering. The bottom left is going to be the psychological basis of the problem. And then the bottom left, we just talked about the left. The bottom right is going to be how your higher self is, or what messages your higher self wants you to be aware of. So, on that note, and if you're curious, I'm using the Aleister Crowley's Thoth deck. Imagery on these cards are really cool, so I'll be sure to show you that throughout. Alright, so without further ado, higher self, what do we have in store for Aries this week? Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Alright, Aries, nice. Ooh, some big energy this week, Aries. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and nice. Okay, so there's that. Let's get these cards all nice and neat, and then they won't last that, but let's get them all nice and neat for the moment and see what is in store for you. All right, Aries. So, for the nature of your problem, I pulled the 3 of Wands here. And the cards that came along with it are the 5 of Disc and the 3 of Swords. So I feel like the 5 of Disc, 3 of Swords. Okay, so I feel like the nature of your problem this week is with this 3 of Wands is you figuring out where to, what do you hold, what holds virtue to you? What do you hold dear? What do you consider? It's like a morality check almost. This is feeling like, whether you're pouring, this energy into, I always like to say my initial thing is like a project because we're always working on, or at least I'm working on projects. But, I feel like whether you're working on a project or, you're working on yourself, you're working on a relationship, whatever it may have you, I feel like you're trying to figure out this week, what is it, where is it that your energy needs to be poured into? Where do you feel like you're going to get the most good out of you're getting involved in this issue, whatever you're using this energy for. Because I feel like for some of you, I feel like there is, I'm getting a lot of stress this week. I'm gonna be upfront about that. I'm feeling the energy here is getting me a little stressed out, and not in a bad way, but I do feel like you're worried this week. The 5 of Disc more specifically can be about monetary anxiety, but this is just like worry, anxiety, kind of stress in general. Something that thing that you want to ignore, and you can get it to. It may not be quite a roar, of a problem, but it's something that it's like someone is like whispering in your ear, hey, you have all these problems you need to get involved with. And that's really annoying, after a while of just that constant, nagging in your head, that's what the 5 of Disc to me is. This is in, I might just go ahead and pull this up here too. And I think that's what's leading to this 3 of Swords moment as well. This could be totally separate, they could be vice versa, but either way, the general tone is a little dark, a little somber. You got all these dark clouds here with a little dark here. But with this Three of Swords, this Three of Swords is about it's a very melancholy type of fear. Very, again, very somber kind of about sorrow. I don't want to say necessarily like there's a loss or anything, but I do feel like I feel that this, whatever this stress, anxiety is piling on to this. It's exacerbating this Three of Swords energy. Because right now everything is out of balance. This is one of Libra's cards. This is Saturn in, I'm gonna say Saturn in Libra. Yes, Saturn in Libra. And so yeah, this is very much like, yeah, you are not in alignment. Something is very off, and I feel like this for some of you this week, that's going to be the name of the game, is how do we establish that balance again? Where do we challenge or channel this energy, this Three of Wands energy, so that we can start seeing more things of virtue, seeing more good kind of coming out of this in this constant state of worry. I'm feeling like it's with this energy, this five of disc, and then we're gonna move on to the future. I do feel like it's one of those things. It's, if we stay too much in the future, kind of worrying about these things, and it's hard, but I feel like I like to think of these cards as kind of like moments where we can bring some mindfulness in. I don't like the idea of them just being negative cards, and that's not to dismiss negative things, but I do feel like there's a more constructive and more productive way of channeling that energy. Address it, give it its space. Definitely don't ignore it, because that's how things fester and turn into devils and tower moments and whatnot. But I feel like here, this is just saying that, maybe when at all possible, maybe focus more on the now. What can use your energy right now? Because those are the things that's what you're in control of, this now. And when you get control of that now, that past and more importantly, that future aspect starts to get more in your control, because you're starting to manifest more kinder things. You're showing more compassion towards yourself, and there's this more loving energy kind of coming in. So I feel like this week, it's really about, this is the sun. This is one of your cards. This is the sun in Aries. So how can we get that? Because this might have even too, energies like this can definitely kind of slow us down, or even potentially stop us for a little bit. And being the initiator of the zodiac, I know you ain't about staying still for too long. So, this could be, and that's probably why you're feeling kind of shitty, because, it could get you where you're just stagnant. And this week, I feel like this is the time to kind of really get out of your head, find that energy, and live in the present, And I with some time, I do think that you'll feel the changes starting to come, and that there's your less anxiety, less of these things. These feelings start to assuage. So, yeah, don't hang in there, Aries. I'm right there with you. I'm gonna be there with you week for week. You're not alone in this. If that helps any, know that you got me. Hit me up any time of the day, and all I'm gonna come with you is advice. I'm not even gonna bitch. It could be 3:00 in the morning. I'm gonna drop some mindfulness for you. So there you go. We're in this together. Is what I'm getting at. All right, but now I'm getting off topic. Let's move on to some future stuff. Let's figure out how we are going to assuage this stuff. You know what? Let's start on the upper left, because I like that. On the upper left, I pulled the Ace of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Art card. So with this Ace of Swords here, all the aces, I like to think of them as, you planting a seed. Hold on. I like to think of it as, all the aces are like you're planting a seed, because they are the root of all of the suits. Ace of Cups, Swords, Wands, and Disc represent water, air, fire, and earth, if I followed that order correctly. But this is of air for the purpose of this story. This is the root of air. And swords have to deal with intellectual matters. So I like that this is here. I feel like this is you planting that new seed, that seed of clarity. And with this, the Ace of Swords is kind of like with great power comes great responsibility. Usually is how I kind of read the Ace of Swords. And that still does apply. But I feel like more so here, this is saying that you're getting a clarity here, that this Three of Wands energy, once you apply this Ace of Swords, is going to lead into this divine wisdom here, because that's one of the things that the Hierophant represents, is divine wisdom. You can also represent too, like I was saying, this kind of stuff, these changes don't happen overnight. Oh yeah, even that one. These changes don't happen overnight. And the Hierophant, it's Taurus energy. And, Taurus, they're about, being patient, persevering. It can be a bit of stubborn energy, but I'm getting more of a persevering through this, going on this journey and taking that time for yourself so that you can acquire that wisdom, so that when you get to, once that seed really starts to grow and you're able to, once you've gotten over that hump, it's then you can start creating things again and, making more beauty in your life. The art card is about manifesting stuff after like really clever, or you want to be clever too in this, but very calculated process. This is like the completion. This is the completion of the Lovers. If the Lovers is the alchemical marriage, this is the honeymoon. This is now we're making stuff. And I feel like this, once you get that clarity, get that divine wisdom, and get, taking what you've learned from these moments right here, I really feel like you're going to be able to take that and, turn that into something beautiful to put out into the world, to kind of help, maybe people going through similar types of things. Maybe with this Hierophant too, he can represent a teacher. So maybe you're looking for some advice about how to handle these things. But more so what I was thinking too is that, you could be this Hierophant, in the sense that, you can, take this wisdom that you've learned from all these moments and apply it to this art. And, and maybe this is how you're kind of helping, put out more Three of Wands energy, more virtuous energy, kind of help people like channel that energy into more happier things, and the things that are going to elevate them in the long run. So that's some things I like that. I feel like, what better way to, turn lemons into lemonade than to take your problems and to help others get through them. So that's, I'll leave that one this side. I like that message. That's pretty solid. Now, for others on the right-hand side here, we have the Knight of Swords. There is the Eight of Wands and the Fortune card. So, with the Knight of Swords, and let me preface this before I forget, because you have two knights here. The knights, depending on the direction that they're facing to your problem, it's usually either the coming or going of the coming or going, but how I've become, or how I've liked to interpret them as, is not necessarily, it is the coming of something, but when it comes to going, I feel like it's less of you going out and, energy going away from you, but I feel like it's more so you channeling that night energy and going out to do something. But that doesn't matter, because all of these cards are facing towards you. So I do feel like with this Knight of, that long-winded story to say, is that clarity is coming. The Knight of Swords was facing your direction of your problem, and he's looking at you too. Look at this guy; he's coming at you. Clarity's coming at you in a good way, not in a creepy way. It's he's about that clarity. He's planted that seed. He's been, and this doesn't have to represent. These don't represent people. This is just like general energy. I'm just referring to him in general. Which I guess he's androgynous. We're not going to talk about it. He represents like just like that clarity coming in, very crystal clear, like that Ace of Swords energy. I feel like that's coming to you. And the nice thing about these futures too, I've been telling the other signs here, the futures here, these are just a couple options. You can even play around with them just because they like appeared here. I'll be crossing futures all the time because that's the fun thing about it. The future is what you make of it. So definitely have fun in this, because since you have, for some of you, if you have this clarity coming in and you feel that coming in, and honestly, I feel like it's coming in fast with this Eight of Wands. this is very electric energy. This is about this is about either just swiftness, things, news coming in quick. This is Mercury in Sagittarius, so take that, couple that with your already, Aries energy. It's gonna be, you're gonna be a force to be reckoned with, and there's gonna be fortune. I smell a fortune coming on. And the nice thing too, and I like that he's facing your thing, like this is coming, because then gives you a chance to, once that clarity comes in, you can go out and claim that fortune. Because the thing with the fortune card is, just because it pops up doesn't mean that fortune is just going to fall in your lap. I don't know if you can see on here, there are these hands on here, and the wheel is just going to stay still unless someone moves it. It's like, that's just like you having a winning lottery ticket and not cashing it in, is how I view the fortune card. You got to go do something with it, and once that wheel starts turning, that fortune starts cranking in. I mean, then it starts raining, but you got to make it rain first, and you have that power, and I feel like with this Knight of Wands, or Knight of Swords, Eight of Wands energy, it's coming in fast, and you're coming to this realization. So be patient with yourself. I like that. We're gonna cross those here. We're crossing futures. I feel like this wisdom is gonna come in faster than you think, and I like that. Make that. Find that pace, because definitely the Hierophant. I know patience may not be the name of the game for all you Aries, but with this Hierophant, there is reward in taking your time. But I get if you don't want to go as slow as him, because according to, I remember the description here, they describe the Hierophant as moving every 2,000 years, at least according to this deck. So maybe move a little faster than him, but don't force it, is what I'm, just like how we're not forcing readings. I'm not forcing reading. Don't force the growth. It's gonna happen how it's supposed to happen. You're right where you need to be in this exact moment of time. I mean, you're here watching this video, so I take that as a good sign, Aries. So, well, okay, enough. Let's move on, Aries. Okay, do we have anything else future? You'll yell at me if you do. Okay, so Aries, with some perspectives to consider, on a psychological basis. I'm still naming this corner. We're gonna get there. You have the Eight of Swords, you have the Adjustment card, and the Two of Cups. So, Eight of Swords, another moment of mindfulness. This is like what the Eight of Swords represents. Kind of like, I like to think of this as you kind of getting in your own head. You're getting in your way at this point. Sometimes there might be situations where there is something that's actually blocking us. Maybe you're waiting on someone to do something. Maybe you need this, whatever it is, whatever that interference is, address it. I feel like it's one of those things, once you put a face to it and you've labeled the problem, it only stays a problem as long as you don't deal with it. So once you see this interference, I say, it's time to make some adjustments. And that's what this is all about. This is Libra's card. This is a card of balance. You have a lot of Libra, got quite a bit of Libra going on here, so some of you might have some Libra in your chart. But I feel like this is a time with this Justice card, or Adjustment card here. It's, this is about you getting that balance again. Because obviously, we're out of whack right now. Here, let me move this. Obviously, we're out of whack right now with this Five of Discs, Three of Swords energy. So this time, we're, what? Oh, wrong one. What is interfering with that? We are going to talk about this one. What is interfering with you getting your balance? And I feel that once you address that, it's going to get you to this Two of Cups energy, which the Two of Cups is about love. And it could be love in a sense of like, partner comes in. But I like to think of it first as love for yourself. Because you can't love anybody. You can't do anything if you're not doing that for yourself. You have to do this stuff for yourself first, so that when you go to when you're ready to share that love, it's coming in. You've been with yourself. You know how to, because if you know how to be compassionate with yourself and love yourself, and because it can be easy to just like throw those onto things and to people, but I feel like until it's like really ingrained in us and like it's really become a practice, we love ourselves the least and show ourselves the least compassion sometimes. So I feel like once you get to that state of showing yourself that, giving yourself that self-care, that love, your cups, you see how this lotus is here? This is you. And then once you have taken care of your needs, this is Venus in Cancer. So very nurturing energy here. Take care of yourself so that when you do go to, spread that abundance, that fortune is going to spill over into 2 cups. That 2 is going to become 4, and then so on. So definitely take that time this week. I feel like this is good, Aries. Like, I feel like balance is the name of the game here. Balance, and oh, you'll see why I'm excited in a second. Hold on. I'm getting excited. Okay, let's set this stuff down. Is there anything else here? No. Hit me up if you got something. So, with some messages that your higher self wants you to know, because this really kind of ties in nicely to what I was saying. You have the Knight of Wands here, the Empress, and the Ten of Cups. So, Knight of Wands, another one, is facing your direction. So, Knight of Wands, very similar to the Knight of Swords, but he's the fiery part of fire. Knights represent fire, and then with him, the wands being a fire element, he is fire at its finest, fire in motion. He's like going out there, and we're taking names. I'm conquering. This is it. The only caveat I have with the Knight of Wands is because he's got all that fire. Be mindful. This is nice. Figuring out what you hold virtuous. Let's not forget our 3 of Wands. Because if you channel that 3 of Wands energy correctly with this Knight of Wands, beautiful things are going to happen. That fortune. However, with him, sometimes if the energy isn't expended correctly, then that's it. He's just like, he's kind of like one and done. Now I got to recharge again. So I say that's really the only caveat I have with him. But otherwise, his energy, I say go for it. This is. If I could put Aries, honestly, other than like the Emperor, which is your card, if I had to throw you in a card, it would be this one, kind of like that full steam ahead. We're going. So definitely channel that energy this week towards yourself. Really, take that enthusiasm that you would for a project and maybe turn that project, you being that project. And how appropriate, the Empress agrees with me. I love the Empress. She is about self-care. Well, at least that's where our relationship is at now. Because she is about, this is Venus. Look at Venus. Just because she didn't think you heard her in this 2 of Cups. So, the Empress. This is about beauty, aesthetics, love. It's big energy. Oh, it's big energy. See, so big things are moving in here. Something got channeled in here. But the Empress is big energy. She's the counterpart to the feminine counterpart to your card, the Emperor. And I feel like this is, taking your time to get to that. It's a shame the Emperor's not here. No, it's not. We had Knight of Wands. I feel like to get to that Emperor energy that you are, you're going to have to take some time. The Emperor doesn't just look like that all the time. He's got to get up, brush his teeth, put on his shoes, get his crown on, got to get all pretty. And that's what the Empress is saying. Take that time. She's like, it's okay to want to be beautiful and take care of yourself while being this incredible force. I feel like that's really, that's it. That's all she has to say. She's really, I love when she shows up because that's on top of mindfulness. Self-care has been really one of the big things that I've noticed that's going to be like a settle in. Because I'll say it as long as it needs to be. Because look at what happens when you do all that. 10 of Cups. We have been satiated. You are at. you are at this point. Oh, sorry, Mike almost tried to jump off there. Everything is moving, Aries. This energy this is for real. Let's do this. 2 signs. I'm taking this. You need to do this. Take this time for yourself. Because really, self-care is not, I feel like sometimes, and I'm guilty of it too, that when people say that you need to take time and take care of yourself, it can come across, if you feel like, if you don't put like a time on it, it can feel like you're getting lazy if it's taking too long, quote unquote. But self-care is going to take as long as healing is going to take as long as it takes. And don't rush that process. It's going to, while you're doing that, the universe don't worry. Your higher self and all of that is playing behind the scenes, but you have to take some time and to fill these cups. If you're if you got nothing left to give, if you're in this sorrow, that's hard to give. It's hard to give when you're dealing with stuff, when you're not at your best. So take that time, get that self-care, channel that energy, and go at it with some enthusiasm. Go at it like you really want it. Because hold on, I think we can go ahead and move on. I feel let's transfer over. But yeah, what I'm basically getting at is, this is, go at it with that enthusiasm, because self-improvement is exciting. And I feel like once you see how that fulfills you, that coming to balance again and whatnot, it really is, okay, good. It really is it's such a rewarding thing. 10 of Cups. I mean, yeah, 10 of Cups. Oh! And the Fortune. Yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want for this. So, again, I hope this, not again. Yeah, I hope this resonates with you, and I'll say it again. I hope it resonates with you, because I want it to resonate with you. I want you to take care of yourself and to get that fortune. So, yeah, that's my message for you, Aries. Like, share, subscribe, all those good YouTube-y things. Check your moon, check your rising, check your Venus this week. That's I feel like that's been the name of the game. I think Mercury last week. We're just gonna move through the planets. Find out where your placement in your Venus is. Find out how you love, and maybe see if you can apply that to how you're doing this self-care. So yeah, I like that, Aries. Let's go ahead, and I won't force that too much longer. Now, on to one of my favorite segments. It is Celestial News Weekly! I think they're getting a little more over the top with each sign. Forgive me. But, what better way to, the analogy, I have to thank Scorpio for this. The analogy that I'm using now, when you get ready to go outside, you check the weather. Is it right? Because right now it's where I'm at. It's like it's a little gray, a little raining. The sun was kind of peeking out, but you're checking the weather before you go out. With Celestial News, why not? This was definitely more graceful or more. Yeah, words are hard right now. Learn what's going on with the planet so that this doesn't happen. Is what I'm trying to get at. So let's get into the news. I don't even know if that made sense. We're moving on, Aries. Tomorrow, 10/17, is the last quarter moon. It's about letting things go. Like that moment, we're letting it go. It happened, but we're here now, and look how much better we are from it. And so this is that time of letting go and taking responsibility for like your mistakes and your accomplishments, and really feeling how that played into this last quarter, from new moon to new moon, and then, getting your heads, your mindset to get ready to go into that next cycle. So, what stuff, good time. I keep forgetting this is reversed. Let go of that worry, that anxiety, kind of, manage that, address that sorrow, kind of deal with it, whatever's kind of gotten you down. Once we kind of got that, kind of, address that, and we started to let those things go, that's really gonna, I feel like, get you ready for this next moon phase coming up. And it's kind of nice too that I was talking about that healing, because last week we were talking about all the retrogrades. I'm not gonna beat you with retrogrades this week. Well, just one, but it's an exciting one because it's a newer one that I feel like it's one that I want to kind of get out there on the radar, and that is Chiron. Chiron's in retrograde. Now, if you haven't heard of Chiron, it was discovered for history buffs in 1977 by whom I don't have the name right offhand. I should have wrote that down. But Chiron, it was classified as an asteroid and then later reclassified as a minor planet. And it orbits between Saturn and Uranus. And it's known as the Wounded Healer. It's named after the centaur from Greek mythology. And it's really, with it being in retrograde, it's about that time. It's about like internal healing and that like just a really cathartic time to dealing with whatever these. Let's throw this Eight of Swords in here too. Oh, see, they want to run. Don't let them run. Don't necessarily force it, but if you're able to wrangle it in, just address them as they come. Give these energies the time because they want space too. I feel like we've always make space for the happiness. We only want the happy to come in, and then when the sadness comes in, or the more negative feelings, because we haven't given in that time to nurture in things, they fester and then they become this bigger things. They become these almost insurmountable things when they do come around again, but they do come around again. That's that ebb and flow of life. But if we can learn how to navigate through that so that things, having more things, being able to deal with them more than to let things just like happen to us all the time. I feel like he thinks it's just like, why does this keep happening to me? And it's just like, well, if I just move my head, it stops. So, and I know it's not that simple. I definitely am oversimplifying it, but it's just to kind of give that, hopefully that kind of helps make sense. We're getting there, still getting there, still trucking on. Oh, fun fact, and then, this is perfect because you're one of the signs this applies to. So when Chiron is in, it stays in each sign on an average of 4 years, but with the exception of four signs. You and Pisces, Chiron will stay in your sign for about 7 to 8 years. Why? I'm going to look into that more. And then for Libra and Virgo, it only stay in there for like 1 or 2 years. Again, why? Stay tuned. And that's it. That's my fun fact for you. Now, moving on to, lastly, this is kind of a smaller news week this week. I'm just introducing some newer things. Last thing is going to be aspects. And aspects in the sense of, I don't know if you've all heard, when you think about celestial bodies, you might hear them, someone refer to as, the sun is square to Pluto, or such and such is trine to this is sextile. Those are aspects. And those are just how the planets are, what the degree range is from each planet to each planet. So, or, each celestial body to each one. So, for example, the sun is trine with Mars. Trine means it's at 120 degrees. And so that the sun is at 120 degrees with Mars. And that ends on the 26th of this month. And all that is saying, and this is kind of perfect for you, being that go-getter you are, this gives you that kind of like, so I can't even imagine if you've already got that go-getter, mentality, this is like going to put it on like 20, because this is like this is a time where, that feeling of that drive to start new things is just like heightened. You just want to, let's do it. You want to go plant a garden. You want to go, I don't know, maybe not train a puppy. Whatever you do, whatever you're doing with those go-getter energy, this is why I'm not an Aries. I wouldn't even know what to do. I need your help. But this is a good time for you. If you are looking to start stuff, this is definitely that energy is definitely promoting that. And then lastly, and I'm done throwing word salad at you, Venus is squaring Pluto, which is has it at a 90 degree. Yeah, I'm almost done throwing word salad. It ends on the 25th of this month. Let's speak slower. And this is just kind of asking you to be aware of any sort of dissonance or discord in your relationship. If you feel like, something's been, could be with someone you're in a relationship with, a friend, whatever that whatever that relationship is, just kind of be mindful of any kind of things that might be just sort of ticking you off this week. There's just like, oh, I hate when they do this, blah blah blah, that, when you're feeling really nitpicky and stuff. It might just be just kind of sometime address that, softly, so that it doesn't like blow up. I feel like it is a good time to really again, and do it kind of soft, just like, hey, what would make my life, or even approach it about, hey, hey, partner, hey, whomever, what can I do to make your life a little easier? Is there something that you like, coming home? And then, they'll give you your thing, and, hopefully they'll be inquisitive, ask you the same thing. And then it creates that kind of healthy, safe space to deal with these things, as opposed to just like, you got me so, and, we don't need to be coming in like that. No need to be coming in hot. We can come in, we can talk about this like adults. Then I told, what's today? I don't know what today is. But last week, with Mercury, or who was it? Mercury entering Libra. Again, this is two good times. This is like, conversation is at its best. Not evidence here, but conversation with other people are usually at its best. So definitely take that time if there has been any kind of dissonance. Deal with that. And that's what I have there. I'm feeling really chatty with you, Aries. All right, I'm just going to give you your card and get you out of here, because no one should have to deal with this. Nice. Well, you'll be glad you stayed, because you got the 9 of Disc. 9 of Disc is about gain. This is about that abundance. So, once you've gotten through that 3 of Wands, you've taken that self-care, you've gotten balanced, we are wiser from it. Now it's time to reap the rewards of that. And I do feel like the rewards are coming, Aries. Remember, stuff's coming in fast. And with your energy, it definitely, I have no doubt that you're going to get to whatever your end game is looking like. So, I hope this resonated with you. I had a blast. Stay tuned. Be sure to hit that bell button for notifications. I update on Sundays. Until then, let's keep raising the vibration. Have a great rest of your week. Be